Hi you guys, so I'm coming to you from my back sunroom where I just planted all my veggie seedlings about a week ago and they're all popping up and growing. They're beautiful, even the stubborn pepper plants. Growth, new life, change. That's what I want to talk to you about in this video. Last two videos I did for you were about just shaking your shit out and letting go of some stress and tension right now, which is phenomenally what we all need. Today's practice is an anger-gasm. And it's going to go a little deeper and it's going to get you at a little bit more primal, visceral level. When change comes and happens, whether it happens to us or we invoke it from within and we say, I want to change, I want to grow, I want to evolve, either way, two things happen. A big, deep fear rises up. And then there's this kind of ego that fights it, holds on to it. And then there's finally this like release and letting go, this deep release and letting go of be like, okay, if I'm gonna go forward, if I'm going to change and evolve, I can't have this anvil on my back, so I've got to finally fucking release it and let it go. Yes? Okay, and right now we are hit with change and the unknown. So our mind hates the unknown. It just wants to solve every little puzzle and problem that comes our way. It likes to know, on Monday I'm going to go to work and on Tuesday I'm going to do this and this is how I'm going to pay for this and this is how I'm going to buy that and this is how I'm going to solve this problem and this is right and this is wrong and our brain just likes to think it has everything all figured out. And right now it fucking doesn't. And right now we're struggling with that if you don't have this deeper wisdom, this deeper knowing, a component of which is being comfortable in the unknown. So I'm going to start to teach you how to get there. And the second thing that's happening to us is change. We don't like change. We're like, no, the only change in my life is the change I want to make. I'm going to change that, and when I'm ready, I'll make that change, but not right now. And we're getting a shit ton of change at us right now in every way, from how we make a living to how we relate to our family, to being cooped up with our family. And so we're getting the shit kicked out of us right now, you guys. And so this practice, this anger-gasm practice that will really help get you to that deep underbelly fear that's going on, that kind of background underbelly constant fear that's kind of running in the background, that constant worry and stress that's kind of running in the background. It's a really deep visceral reset. So warning, if you're not ready to go here, or you don't have the support, or you don't feel stable enough to do this, don't do this deeper version I'm giving you today. Go back 2 videos ago. I gave you some easier, Qigong, shaking your shit out, de-stressing methods, or a Kriya, yoga Kriya I gave you. Or you could just, if you want to get a little deeper from those, turn on your music as loud as you can in your house. Kick everybody out of the room or tell them that you're just going to dance your ass off. Do it by yourself. Turn your thinking mind off. Turn your judgment off. You're not dancing to the beat of the music. You're not trying to look pretty. You're just shaking your shit out. And for about 15 minutes, that music, as loud as you're comfortable and as loud as it feels good to you, you just dance your little ass off. And you just shake and move in ways that look like, they could look like Elaine from Seinfeld, like whatever, nothing planned, just natural auto movement. Let your autonomic nervous system cut loose. Okay, now, once you do that one, and if you're ready to do this anger-gasm, here's how it works. You're going to need to hold a space for this practice, and you're going to need to be completely alone. Right now, I know that second one's hard because we're around people. We're stuck in houses with families and people, and we don't have a lot of space. So you can either do this outside. You can just go for a balls out run. And when you run out of steam, you don't run in any direction. Just run where your body naturally runs. Right, left, side, center, doesn't matter. Don't have a goal at the end. We always have a goal at everything at the end. We're taking that goal at the end with this practice. This is a goalless practice. This is a sensorial practice. So run wherever your body takes you to, and wherever you get done running, when you stop, you can drop to the ground and you can scream and yell or pound your fists on the ground or swear or whatever you're gonna do, just fucking let it out. But I know that's hard for some of you to do because we're always worried about what will other people think. You won't look proper if you do that. You're gonna look like a crazy person if you do that, because we are so censored in our society. We are so not taught how to let our animal and our ego come out. And we have an animal and we have an ego that we've been ignoring for a long time. And it's like, stuff it down, there's some more stress, I'm tired and wired, it's okay, I'm going to go and stuff it down until eventually it blows up, or we want change, or the world has a pandemic, right? And so this is how to do this in a healthy way. So you're going to give yourself the space to do this, and you're going to turn off that part of your brain that is the censor of what will I look like? What will I feel? This is a movement that has to be completely auto movement. You're just moving without thinking. Your body is doing whatever it wants to do. And I'll post a few examples below so that you can see them. Oh, now we're having just had another earthquake right in the middle of this filming. So you need to create a space. So tell everybody in your family, if you're going to do it in your house, hey, I'm going to go in the back room and I'm going to freak out for a bit. I'm going to yell, I'm going to scream, I'm going to shout, I'm going to dance around, I'm going to move. It might feel like an earthquake with what I'm doing in that room, but I'm okay. And I have some instruction, so I'm going to go for it. Let people know what you're doing so it doesn't freak them out. Maybe you tell your partner or your husband or your wife or somebody, hey, can you take the kids out of the house? Maybe take them for a walk. I need a little bit of alone time, and do this for yourself. Tell them to go away for a half hour and let you have some space. And by the way, you should be doing that right now. You guys, we're all cooped up and we need to have alone time, just me time. I posted a whole video on this on my tantric series if you're curious about that. But so you hold the space, and it's really simple. You just, when you're ready and you have your space and nobody's around and you've told yourself, I will not self-censor. I am not going to self-censor during this practice. Then you just start screaming and yelling. And it's called an anger-gasm for a reason, because it usually starts out with anger, because fear, stress, anxiety, all that stuff often comes out first off the top as anger. You're just yelling, or it may just be the anxiety that comes out or the fear that just comes out. And you're not trying to label this or anything. You're just starting to yell. And you're going to yell and scream and shake your fists and jump up and down. If you want to, you can drop to the earth and pound the earth with your fists. You can scream and swear. Any statements of fear you've been holding in of like, oh my God, I don't feel safe, or what the fuck's going on, or this world's crazy right now, and just say whatever comes up. Or I love this one I'm going to post you. It's a beautiful girl I think she's from Ireland or Scotland, and she lets out a little Scottish like howling roll out, and it's delicious. And then eventually it usually morphs into, if you do it long enough, like you're going to do it for at least a minute, if you can, a minute and a half. Or if it's weird at first, do it for 30 seconds and then stop, so you don't overwhelm your system. But it usually morphs into a laughter, a deep, joyous, orgasmic, post-orgasm state and laughter. And then let that rumble up too. Just let that, oh God, it just feels so good. It's like I'm alive and joyful, and just let that rumble up too. And then when you're done, you're going to give yourself some time to get low to the ground, sit down, lay down, whatever's comfortable for you, and then just close your eyes and feel and notice, and allow yourself for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes to just be saturated in that post-anger-gasm state or that post-stress-gasm state or that post-anxiety-gasm state, where you feel once again, and probably for the first time in a long time, your natural rhythm, life inside. And it may feel like a buzzing or a tingling or a humming sensation or whatever. Just allow yourself to sit with it and enjoy it and marinate in it for a little bit. and stay there until you're ready to come out. And your mind may kick in and go, oh, I should probably be done with this practice now, or oh, what should I be doing next? Just recognize that and go, no, remember, I turned you off for a bit. And then just hang out as long as you like. This is a practice that you could do in increments, so you could start with just a few screams or just jumping up and down or whatever feels right to you, 30 seconds at a time, and working your way up. So be mindful of what's going on so that you don't freak yourself out more. But it's a delicious, beautiful exercise and practice. And why is it important right now, you guys? I just went through a coaching process with my partner because we're always constantly evolving our relationship and deconstructing it down to the nuts and bolts and letting it rebuild up into what it wants to rebuild into. And one of the things we wanted to work on was a way to vent. And we vent all the time on people in really shitty ways. You know, you'll pick up the phone and someone will be like, oh my God, I'm so upset today. This happened. And you're like, whoa, like you just picked up the phone and got shat on by somebody's vent. And this coach is amazing. I'll post the book below, but she has a whole method of holding a space for a vent and asking for permission for a vent and telling the person, I'm going to vent and thank you for taking my vent. And no, this isn't about you. Even if it is about you, it's not about you. It's ego. It's ego 90% of the time. This is me being a little 2-year-old jumping up and down, having an ego fit, or it's animal coming out. And then you vent. And it's a beautiful process, but we can't get to the deeper work again. We can't process. We can't look at this and go, is this a past pattern in my life that keeps coming up? Or is this do I keep doing this over and over? Or do I want to make change and this is getting in the way and this is holding me back? We can't get to those places until we can learn to properly go, I have an ego and I have an animal. And it needs to play sometimes, and it needs to come out sometimes, and it needs to get loud sometimes. And I'm going to give it permission in a healthy space to do that, like having an anger-gasm, being kind to the people around you, telling them you're going to do it, prepare yourself, and then just letting it rip. Like doing a proper vent. Instead of just shitting all over people with your anger, your frustration, or your stress, or your story that happened today. When we start to learn these tools, you guys, they profoundly shift and change the way you react in life. So instead of this overreactive, hyper vigilant, kind of on edge, we're calm, we're kicked back, we're taking the right action. We're allowing ourselves to go, oh, this is what this is. I'm recognizing I'm in my ego and I'm in my animal self, and that's okay too. And how do I hold the space for that? There's room for everything in this life. There's room for every experience, everything. We just need to learn how to hold it and how to play with it and use it wisely and skillfully so that we can have a deeper knowing and a deeper wisdom. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Namaste.